Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Redlands. My name is Joe. I'll be leading you on this guided meditation this morning. So let me just invite you to take a nice deep inhalation through the nose as we close our outer eyes. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale again deeply through the nose. Hold it for about 3-4 seconds. And exhale out the mouth nice and evenly, comfortably. And let us repeat this breathing pattern as we center ourselves in this present moment. And after about 3 or 4 breaths of holding in that inhalation, just allow your breathing to flow naturally, growing deeper with every in-breath and every out-breath. As we feel the rise and fall of our belly, expanding and contracting in this rhythmic breathing flow. Just feel all the tension being pulled from your body as your shoulders drop and relax. With every out breath, feel that tension and all your muscles just drift away. Maintaining a firm, erect posture, allowing the shoulders to drop. Let us breathe. Just allow any distracting thoughts that may come to mind or any exterior noises you hear. Do not resist them, just let them pass. And return your focus and your attention to your breathing. If you could visualize this bright, radiant light all around and within, as you breathe in, see this bright light being pulled in, being sucked in inside. Feel it well up inside you, filling you up like a balloon, expanding. As you exhale, see this light beaming outward, flowing outward with your breath, touching everything it comes in contact with all around. Its brightness, its warmth, peace emanating all around, everywhere, reverberating. Feel it being drawn back into you as you breathe in, maintaining this steady, gentle, natural flow. Continuing to allow every out-breath pull all that tension. As your body becomes more and more relaxed, more and more centered in this oneness, this wholeness, this unification with this divine power and presence that is within and all around. This infinite source and supply that is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. See yourself as you breathe. Just dissolving and meshing into this light, this Christ light, this divinity that is good, that is all good. It is peace, it is calm, it is joyous, it is soothing, comforting. Breathing in, we see it stoking up this light, growing brighter, warmer, more radiant, like a bellows stoking the coals, the embers of a fire. They just grow brighter and warmer and more bright. This Christ light shines and it burns bright, within and all around. We feel this energy, this divine energy that is source. Revitalizing, energizing every cell, every electron, proton, molecule within. Stimulating all trigger points, all nerves. We just flow and move within this body of God. Within this body of infinite, universal mind, intelligence, permeates all space, pervades all substance. Let us breathe. Let us be still and know. Feel yourself moving and flowing in this light, one with it, awash in this cosmic flow. This energy that vibrates outward, that knows no bounds. To pure potentiality in everything it touches and can see and can imagine and can believe. And so it is as we breathe and flow into it, knowing it is so. Now, as we slowly just bring our attention back to this place, this sacred sanctuary, this moment. Some may want to wiggle your toes or your fingers. As we ease back in. I invite you, if you're ready, as we open our outer eyes. This concludes our meditation. Thank you.
Everybody, we come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. the love in the sanctuary. Let your voice repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize a God in you. Recognize a God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, come together, we come together, come together, we come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every clear color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the love of each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you. Namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together, we come together, come together, we come together, come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, come together, we come together. Get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Be reminded who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, 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 yeah. Everybody you meet, everybody get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, yeah, 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 hey, hey. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. And my soul is welcome here. Yeah, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Yeah.
get the message?
All
Did
right.
everybody get the message that your soul is welcome here? Or do we need to do it again?
Yeah. Let's do it again.
Again.
A little bit.
I'm tired.
Just the part, my soul is welcome here. Let's do that.
Okay. 2, 3, 4. Loud and clear, getting a message loud and clear, getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Thank you, Dream Band.
All right, woo! My soul is welcome here. Oh man, what a beautiful song by a beautiful band, the Dream Band, delivering high energy and flow for us this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Redlands. Thank you to everyone for joining us. All right, yay. All right, joining us on Facebook Live and YouTube and here in our beautiful sanctuary. My name is Sonja Prince, and it is truly a privilege and an honor to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. CSL Redlands is a new thought community living in ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes studied truths from all the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths, and developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit in our world. CSL Redlands is an open and inclusive community honoring all people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you're always welcome here. All right. Yes. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to a spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone. If you're here with us for the first time, please raise your hand and let us properly greet you. All right. Woo. All right. We know you have a choice for your spiritual community, and again, we are delighted to have you visit with us today. A gentle reminder to silence your cell phones and place them safely away so you may participate more fully in our service. All right, and then I have some announcements here. So we got a lot of things. So we just finished off the month of March, and we had a lot of activity going on there, but we got a jam-packed April for everyone here, and it's a lot of stuff going on. So first of all, we have our treatment and meditation class coming up, and it will be starting soon. The class is 10 weeks long, 3 hours. If you're interested, please sign up. We need 6 students to have a class. So if you're interested in that, please go ahead and sign up for it. We do have visioning today in the practitioners room at 11:30. So please join me and the practitioners and the members of the visioning team for that visioning today. And then Saturday, April 8th at 3 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m., join Sonja Blackman for a lecture on our history. And this class is by Love Donations, so please, again, a great class. You don't want to miss it, and so please join us then. And then we have a 1-minute miracle. Our practitioners are available after service for prayer. What can we know for your highest good? And then we have Youth Hope is an organization in Redlands by Heidi Myers and Monica Saunders, and they need food items. And perhaps we can assist even within the greater community by they're asking for granola bars, noodles, marinara sauce, cereal, milk, things of that nature, quick snacks, canned goods. So you're delighted and your giving heart, we know will make this success. Saturday market morning in Redlands. Volunteers are needed for the Saturday morning market. Volunteers for 6:30 a.m. setup and sharing your knowledge from 8 o'clock to 11:30 a.m. as well. And there's a breakdown after that. So if you're interested in participating, please see Holly. Where's Holly? Hey, Holly. All right. See Holly, and she'll give you all the information for that. Wake up and meditate, a daily spiritual practice, Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. to 9:15. And that's put on by our spiritual leader, Sonja. So please join her for that. The Infinite Way book study, Monday and Thursday from 8 o'clock p.m. to 8:30 p.m. If you're interested, please join, again, Holly for that. And Rick, all right. And David, all right. Okay. And then, like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on here. Metaphysical Fair, Saturday, April 1st. Oh, that was yesterday. That's right. Sonja, you want to... Yeah, so there was a fantastic meditation.
Yeah, so the Metaphysical Fair was yesterday. We had a fantastic time. We were in our building over there, Holmes Hall, and we had a lot of people come through. The class is started. You too. We had a lot of experiential things happen yesterday that was great. I mean, I can't even go into it, but it was great. And ask Caitlin to tell you about it sometimes. It was lots of releasing, lots of going within. The things that we do here on Sunday mornings, you know, this is a community where we invite other activities in to help us do the same thing. So it was a great time. I was here for 12 hours.
All right.
But having said that, there was some great volunteers. Maria was here. Eileen came in. Reverend Caitlin was here. David said he dropped in and dropped out. He just came in to hear. But we had a great time yesterday. Anybody else was here that I missed? We had a great time. So anyway, so join us. When we say there's things going on and activities going on, you want to get into those activities.
Yes.
And but the one thing that I have to say is our teaching, we teach principles to live by, to change your thinking, change your life, it says out here when you first walk in. And that's what we want to foster. We want a better life for everyone. And the way you do that is you get into these classes, you listen, you do the inner work so you can move past whatever pain or whatever it is that you might be going through. So there is a 10-week class, and I just urge you, if you want to change your life, sign up for the 10-week class. Sign up. So that's all I have to say.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Sonja.
Okay.
All right. We have volunteers are needed for the Easter in Ukraine concert, Friday, April 14th from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. So Gilman will be leading the musical aspirations here for the center in celebrating Easter in Ukraine. So please, yes, Eileen will be here as well, and so we'll have a big crowd to celebrate Easter in Ukraine with Gilman Carver.
And those funds go directly to the Ukraine.
Yes.
Almost immediately. We get them in, we send them. We don't hold on to anything. We send funds. If we say we're doing something and it's going to benefit some other place or person or event or whatever, we send it. We are very transparent. If we say we're going to do it, we do it.
All right, yeah, so please join us for that concert. Earth Day celebration and presentation is also coming up. And join us for our Earth Day celebration. We will have presenters with expertise on the subject of sustainable living and healthy foods. We will learn to make homemade kombucha, sauerkraut. We will have a master gardener, master food preserver, soil conservationist, climate impact project, etc. Please sign up. And when is that? Do we have
April
a date?
22nd.
April 22nd. All right, so that's going to be a wonderful event as well. And then we have Creating and Returning to Rituals, Wednesday, April 12th, 19th, and 26th. The cost is $22, class to be held in our practitioner's room. So you're welcome to join that as well. And we have New Moon coming up, Heal Your Inner Child, Wednesday, April 19th, from 5 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m., sharing Kakai, singing, and drumming. The cost is $10 for that.
We're going to be releasing our inner child by banging on some drums and shaking some cymbals and screaming. It's going to be great. Come on out.
Yes, all right. So a lot of celebration going on. And then we have our spiritual cinema. It's going to be The Peaceful Warrior, Saturday, April 22nd from 6 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. The movie is based on the autobiography of Dan Millman. It is the story of his competitive college gymnast years and his spiritual transformation. Volunteers are needed. Please sign up on the sign-up sheet in the back and see Joe Nelson for more information about that. All right, woo. All right, that's a mouthful there. You are magnificent and loved as you are right where you are, God is.
We have
Thank
one
you.
more announcement.
One more announcement. All right, Eileen has something for us. Okay, here you go.
Thank you. Boy, there's something about getting people's undivided attention. You know what I mean? I have been associated, this is a public announcement, I have been associated with the Redlands Bicycle Classic for over 20 years. This is an amazing event. If you haven't been to the Classic, I urge you to go. It starts on Wednesday the 12th of April and it finishes up on Sunday the 16th. It is amazing. We have cyclists from all over the country. We've even had cyclists there from Australia. It is a huge event for the bicycling community, for the racing community, and I urge you to come. But what is very important is that volunteers are needed to be a marshal. And a marshal is someone who stands kind of at a corner or at a crossing and keeps the course safe for the cyclist, because we can't, if somebody wanders onto the course and here comes the cyclist. And when I say whoosh, I'm not kidding. Whoosh, it is. So we need marshals, and it's very easy. You go to redlandsclassic.com. It's easy to remember. And then you just go over to the volunteers and you sign up. It's very important that we have enough marshals. If we don't have enough, the race is canceled. That's all there is to it. So please come. They are having an expo this year that is beyond all expos. And these are vendors, and they're on the top on Citrus Avenue. That big parking structure there, the whole top of it is filled with vendors. And this year, they have more than ever before. And there's incredible things going up there. They got beer. Lots of beer. Lots of beer. Anyway, I ask you to consider becoming a marshal. I ask you to consider having a wonderful day, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, they start off with toddlers on tricycles, and these little toddlers race their hearts out. I'm telling you, they are in it for blood. They do not want to lose. So anyway, all day events on Saturday, and on Sunday, the big events, big national events are happening on Sunday. So please come. You're going to love it, and be a marshal, and make me proud. Also, we have enlarged calendars now for the month of April. So, and they're back on the table there, and take one home with you and put it someplace prominent in your home, on your pillow or something like that. Okay? All right, thank you so much. Eileen. I don't know where this goes. Thanks, David.
Check. There we go. Okay, I always thought a Marshall was one of those amplifiers that's taller than Jimi Hendrix. Anyway, we're talking about the power of vulnerability this month. And that thinking about that took me back to my high school days when we used to call it flower power. So I picked these two songs that are about flower power. Has anybody seen the movie called The Sound of Music?
Yes.
One of these songs, actually the second song, is from that movie. It talks about the mighty power of the tiny Edelweiss. But first there's one from another movie called Hans Christian Andersen, and Danny Kaye sang this in the movie about Hans Christian Andersen. Inchworm, measuring the marigolds, you and your arithmetic, you'll probably go far. Inchworm, measuring the marigolds, seems to me you'd stop and see how beautiful they are. Seems to me you'd stop and see how beautiful they are. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright. You look happy to meet me. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow, bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. Blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow, bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, oh Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever.
Beautiful, as usual. Hello again. Everybody enjoying this beautiful weather we're having? Yes. It's so nice after all this wet weather, and it just makes me just feel blessed with this nature and looking all around. Yesterday I'm out looking at the mountains and just enjoying the, it was such a beautiful night last night out taking the walks, and so just reflect on this as I ask you to just join me here. Close your eyes for this opening invocation. Looking around, all around, these beautiful environs in which we live, surrounded by these beautiful mountains, these beautiful trees, all the blessed souls here in this sanctuary and watching online from wherever they may be. It all embodies this power, this presence, this oneness, this universal source and supply that I call God. You may call it whatever you choose to call it. But it is a source of love. Its nature is benevolent. Its nature is beauty. And this intelligence, it's a creative power. It's a creative force that's just ever creating. And I know that I am unified and one with this power as a child of God, as an incarnation of this divine source, as spirit made flesh. I declare this truth to each and every one of you here in this sanctuary, and to each and every one of you viewing online, how good it is knowing that gathered here in oneness and wholeness and love, we can experience our best and greatest good, harnessing this power, knowing that this power of the divine, of the Most High, is within each and every one of us, and we harness this power in faith and knowingness and trust. So we surrender to it, and it's just allowing it to unfold and work its way through each and every one of us, experiencing our best and greatest good here and now. How blessed I feel for Gilman, Al Yankee, the Dream Band here, the music that they play for us that just fills us with so much positive energy and joy and love. This vibration that just continues to ripple outward, touching everything and everyone that it clings to. How blessed I am for David over there in our sound booth, keeping us technically proficient, keeping us moving and flowing, reaching out within these four walls and beyond. This message, this word, this truth expands, and it's growing in its robustness. How blessed I am for our board of directors and to all of our volunteers whose hearts are so wide and open and full of love, compassion, service. These are all the things that make this life good, purposeful. And I hearken the words of the Master Teacher Jesus, "It is done unto you as you believe." And I hearken the words of Emerson, who said, "There is no great and there is no small to the soul that maketh all." How blessed, how grateful I am. These words of truth. And how blessed I am declaring this blessing to each and every one of you here and watching from online. Open now and receptive to the message to be delivered here today by our spiritual director, Sonja Prince. I'm just grateful in knowing this truth that sets us free. And so it is. Today's wisdom reading, I've got a couple of them here. This one is from a woman named Amanda Linkhout, and it's called Our Inner World. With awareness comes responsibility and choice. Inner thought content is the sole medium between the absolute and the relative, between causes and conditions. That's from The Science of Mind, page 475, Ernest Holmes. And here's one from a guy named Robert Raines, who is a composer and a writer. He said, "To go with the flow of your life is to live without a map, to be vulnerable to having your plans changed, your heart broken, and your dreams unfulfilled. It is to trust that God is in the rapids of change as well as in the rocks of continuity. It is being able to stop digging your heels in against the tide of tomorrow. It is exercising a suppleness of spirit in which you respond to the nudgings and promptings of grace moment by moment, day by day, in kind of lovemaking with life." Thank you.
We're going to need all 4 mics for this. Okay, this is a song by James Taylor, kind of talks about what happens when you don't understand that we're all kind of vulnerable. One, two. You can play the game and you can act out the part, though you know it wasn't written for you. Tell me, how can you stand there with your broken heart, ashamed of playing the fool? One thing can lead to another, doesn't take any sacrifice. Whoa, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't think twice, just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Do as I say, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is widely known. Tell me what you plan to do about your foolish pride when you're all by yourself alone. Once you tell somebody the way that you feel, you can feel it beginning to ease. Think it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel, always getting the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Do as I say, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Help us out on that part there. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that keep it going. Feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. They're saying every life people you love with love. They say the rain must fall, just like the pouring rain. People you love with love. Make it rain, yeah. Make it rain. People you love, 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 and sunshine. Yeah. Oh yeah, make it rain. People you love, 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 and sunshine. Oh Thank you. The Dream Choir.
The dream,
You guys are the Dream Choir.
the dream choir? Okay. So we're showering, what's the lyrics again? Shower people you love with love. Let's say it again. Shower people you love with love. And show them what? The way that you feel. Show them the way you feel. Oh, wow. What a concept. What a concept. So I always go in the back and I pull something. And so it says, if I don't say it now, I'll get off track. So it says, what makes you different makes you beautiful. What makes you different makes you beautiful. I just want you to know that. We'll put that right here. Did you know what makes you different makes you beautiful? Did anybody know that? Yes. Thank you. Good. I'm glad. So good morning, everyone. My name is Sonja Prince, and I'm the spiritual director here at CSL Redlands, and it is an honor to stand before you today, to be with you today, to be with you in person on Facebook Live and on YouTube, because I know you're there. I know you're there. There was a movie. I get off track right away. There was a movie that was called Down to Earth, and the guy kept trying to get in contact with the girl, and she wasn't answering his calls. So one day she was at our house, and she was eating strawberries, and that's when we had answering machines. So she was eating her strawberries, she was listening to the message, and then he said, I know you're there, I know you're there, and she dropped her strawberries all over the place. So that just reminded me of that. But good morning. Today is Palm Sunday. So I just want to go over a little bit about Palm Sunday. So Palm Sunday is today. So Palm Sunday is a Christian observance that occurs on the Sunday before Easter. Next Sunday's Easter. I want to see you with your Easter bonnets. I want to see you with your baskets. I want to see you with your fancy dress, because we get dressed. When do we get dressed to come to church? On Easter? What's the other time? Mother's Day? What's the other one? Father's Day? Every day for you. All right, all right. She's looking good every day. Amen. Amen to that. Okay, I digress. Okay, so it commemorates Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem. It's mentioned in 4 Gospels. Jesus entered the city knowing that he was to be tried and crucified. Palm Sunday marks the beginning of the Holy Week, the remembrance of Jesus' last days. In many churches, Palm Sunday is observed with the blessing and sharing of the palm branches, symbolizing the branches placed in front of Jesus as he entered Jerusalem. Palm Sunday signifies the end of Lent and the beginning of the Holy Week. It also commemorates the arrival of Jesus into Jerusalem. I said that before. The metaphysical meaning of Palm Sunday is threefold. According to Charles Fillmore, Jerusalem represents our consciousness of spiritual peace, the place wherein the Christ triumphs, and we are present in our spiritual plane of majesty, purity, and peace. This is a place of prosperity within each of us. Next, Jesus symbolizes the I am within each of us. His ride into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday symbolizes the last step in our preparation for the crucifixion, of our ego and personality, allowing that Christ consciousness within us to prevail. The Christ takes control and removes the forces of our animal nature. Finally, The spreading of the palm branches by the multitude represents joyful obedience and homage for the change in consciousness within us, and the removal of error consciousness or sin has been overcome and eliminated. In the book Revealing Word, Fillmore describes the palm tree as a metaphysical symbol of one's realization of unlimited strength in the physical realm. And that was from Unity of Brooklyn. So I wanted to give you a little background on that. I wanted to tell you a little bit about Palm Sunday because it is Palm Sunday today. But I always start off with some jokes. I have some jokes for you today. It says, it was Palm Sunday, but because of a sore throat, 8-year-old Billy stayed home. He stayed home from church that day. When the family returned home, they were carrying several palm fronds. Johnny asked them what they were for. People lined the streets with them to herald Jesus' return, his father told him, and they held them over his head as he walked by. Geez, Johnny fumed. The one Sunday I don't go and he shows up. So I thought that was cute. So we are Centers for Spiritual Living, and our monthly theme is the power of vulnerability. And our topic today is vulnerability, defining and aligning. And so we're going to talk a little bit about vulnerability. And so when we hear the word vulnerability, we often cringe, don't we? Ugh, I got to be vulnerable. But we know what it really means and why vulnerability is important for our well-being and spiritual growth. Usually we think the meaning of the word vulnerability, and we think that we're being exposed, that we're going to be exposed, and someone's going to see our frailty, our mistakes, or anything like that. And so we don't want to show people our vulnerable parts of ourselves. But when we become vulnerable, it is actually an honest expression of our authentic self. And it takes courage to act and to be out front and vulnerable to people, to friends, to the world. But it opens our minds and our hearts to each other when we become vulnerable. And we can be seen for who we really are when we become vulnerable. So there was a monastery in Tibet, perched high in a mountain. And you had to hike most days, for days to get up there to the base cliff. In the midst of, it was misty and shrouded. You couldn't really see the peaks, but it was there. And so the monks would get in a basket, and the basket was suspended, and it was pulled by other monks as they went up. So obviously the ride up the steep cliff in the basket was terrifying. And one traveler got exceedingly nervous about halfway up as he noticed that the ropes suspending the basket were old and frayed. He felt completely, what's that word? Vulnerable. With a trembling voice, he asked the monks who was riding with him, "How often do you change these ropes?" And the monk looked at the ropes and thought for a moment and answered, "Whenever they break." So I'm full of jokes this morning. Whenever they break. So this is what Brene Brown, she's a researcher and philosopher and a social worker at the University of Houston, defines vulnerability as a state of emotional exposure that comes with a certain degree of uncertainty. It involves a person's willingness to accept the emotional risk that comes from being open and willing to love and to be loved. Think about that. Your willingness to be open, to be loved, and to be loved. That's big. That's huge. To be vulnerable is to expose the depths of ourselves, even when we are unsure of what we may uncover. You know, there's some stuff down in there that we've forgotten or don't even know about. But when we become vulnerable, we open up to those things. I was talking on the phone the other day to a person that's in this room, and I don't know, but Spirit just said, share this. And I did. And in order to be vulnerable, you have to feel a sense of safety, right? That you're in a safe place to be vulnerable. So the scripture, Matthew 10th chapter, 16th verse says, I am sending you out like sheep among wolves. Therefore, be as harmless as doves and wise as serpents. So be soft, but be wise. You have to be wise because we don't let just everybody in. You know, there's something to be said about discernment. What I shared with my friend the other day, I was being vulnerable because I knew that was a safe place. But I'm not going to go to the grocery store and share it with the checkout person. So we have to have some discernment when we are sharing parts of ourselves. So Ernest Holmes says, we resist being what we really are. We need to accept the fuller expression of the mind that is within us. For in its creative flow through rests our entire future, the greater person that we are and the greater life we desire to employ and enjoy. So vulnerability, the willingness, it might be the willingness to say to someone in a relationship, I love you first, you know? People may not, okay, are they going to say it first or do I need to say it first? So it takes vulnerability because you don't know how that other person is going to respond to you. I was watching this movie the other day. You know, one thing that I try not to do during the week is turn on the television because it's so easy to find a series and binge watch. But I do like to binge watch on like a Friday night and wake up on a Saturday, and I do like to binge watch. So I was watching this movie this series on Netflix, and I just stumbled across it called The Baker and the Beauty. And she was being very vulnerable with this guy, and they were in a restaurant, and she had somebody play the guitar, and then she basically got down on one knee and proposed to him. And he said, can we do this another time? He was asking her if they could do it another time without being in the public eye. And people had their cameras, and they were on social media, and he said, no. And somebody said in the crowd, that's 100,000 views. So it takes courage to be vulnerable. I don't wish that situation on anybody. You know, if you're going to propose to somebody, do it in private. Take them out to the park. Because you see these people on these sports games, and they have the big teletrons, and they're proposing to someone. How do you know how it's going to really go? Anyway, I digress. Anyway, so taking chances might lead to rejection. Talking about mistakes that we've made. We've all lived. We've come from somewhere. You know, taking chances on that. Sharing personal information. Feeling and sharing our emotions surrounding our grief. It takes vulnerability to do that. And we have to make sure we're doing it in a safe place. We want to be held. We want to be, nurtured. If I'm going to share something, I want to know that the person's going to receive it and I'm going to be safe giving that information. Like I said, saying I love you first. Asking for help. Sometimes it can be vulnerable when asking for help. I told you guys I was here for 12 hours yesterday. I should have asked for more help. But sometimes I know I get caught up in, I'll just do it. I'll just take care of this. I'll just take care of that. And then when I get home, I'm so exhausted. I can barely see straight. And then what that leads to is not spending time with my family. I have these little ones at home, and they require a lot of time. So be vulnerable. Ask for help when you need help. I'm just saying that to say that. Okay, let's get back to it. So sometimes we're being vulnerable. Sometimes it's unpopular. Okay, what about when we had to wear masks at COVID? And there were some people that were saying, why do you have on that mask? So that was a pretty vulnerable. When you're in the stores or somewhere and you have a mask on and someone else doesn't have a mask on and they're asking you, why do you have your mask on? And, it's my personal preference to wear this thing. But that can be a time of vulnerability. Sharing an unpopular opinion. That's a time when we can feel vulnerable. Going for a job interview after 50. Anytime you're going for a job interview, but especially after 50 years old. Public speaking. All these things are times when we are being vulnerable. In our centers, we ask you to sign up for classes and workshops. But what we're asking you to do is become vulnerable. We're asking you to sit in the classrooms, and we're asking you to be comfortable enough to go through the process, to dig deep, and that might require some vulnerability. In practitioner school, they explained it like we're peeling an onion, because there's layers of things that we have to clear up. We have to get straight in our own minds. A practitioner's duty is to pray and to be open and to be inclusive. And we can't do that if we have prejudices or things that trigger us. So we're asking to come to our classes to open yourself up so you can live a better, more productive, more prosperous, more loving life. And that takes vulnerability. Whenever we embark on a new adventure, it is important to know where we are going. I had a friend that just went on a camping trip, and she was talking to me about, she had everything planned out. But what she didn't count on was snow. So she had to. So sometimes, even though we want to make a plan, sometimes it doesn't always go that way. So we need to be flexible. Are you guys with me? Yes. We need to be flexible. So, the other day I was here, and I was talking to someone, and we were talking about, yesterday was a really interesting day because a lot was shared yesterday. It was very experiential, and a lot of things were shared. But as we were going through the sharing and encountering other people, it was important to listen and let other people talk and tell whatever their story was. And I have to really dig in and look you in the eye when I'm talking to you, because I am easily distracted. I am easily distracted. But it was important yesterday as we were sitting and talking, and there was all kinds of things going on, that we actually opened up and listened to each other. And even though we were here all day long, I left here with the sense of community. I left here with the sense of camaraderie, love, family. It was amazing. It was amazing. And so yesterday I was talking to someone. So in order to have that, this was needed to be a safe place. And I got a text message from someone when I got home, this young lady that was there. She comes here sometimes. And she said how wonderful it was to sit and share space with you yesterday at this place. And we shared, didn't we? Didn't we? We shared. But what we had created was a safe place to share, a safe place to be vulnerable. And I always tell Daryl, and I said this to someone yesterday, I said, you be you, and that is good enough. And I love you for just who you are, was what I was saying. And if you want to say it the African American style, you be you, boo, and allow me to be me. So, this is a safe place. So it takes courage to be vulnerable, because we're exposing ourselves to the world or to people. Sometimes we are facing a diagnosis, and we don't know how to cope with that or share that. That's a vulnerable time as well. We might be going through some things. So get into safe communities, families, that is safe for you to be vulnerable. Women's group, other kind of groups. I don't know what kind of groups, but there are people out there that you can open up to. Right here, we have practitioners, we have ministers. If you're going through something, you can go to them. You can come to us. We will pray with you. And it's just like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Because we're taught that even though we may need to discuss something, we don't say names or any of that stuff. Right, Brother Mark? We pray. We will pray for you, and we will keep your business from out there. We will keep it and hold it. This is a safe place. So let me get back to my talk. So, Ram Dass writes, as we play at the edge of our pain, gently opening, acknowledging, and allowing the suffering that has caused diminishes if we further dissolve the boundaries, letting ourselves enter into the pain. And in that pain, enter us, we can see the possibilities of going beyond to where our heart is freer. I don't know about you, but I want to free up my heart. And why do I want to free up my heart? So I can love more. I heard someone say one time, there's room enough. And when you need to, you can make more. You can make more room to make more love, to experience more love, to give more love out. Vulnerability lets in the light. It lets in the light. So let's talk about how we get there. You want to talk about that? We've talked about vulnerability long enough. Let's talk about how we get there. I have a story about an artist. Her name is Lizzo. Anybody ever heard of Lizzo? She's a big girl. She's a big, beautiful girl. And she says that she gives so much energy and love to the world, but it seems like they don't love her. It doesn't love her back. That's the condition of social media and being in the public eye. But we may face some things like that as well, where we're giving love, and we don't seem to be receiving the love back. Do it anyway. Love anyway. Share anyway. Communicate anyway. Lizzo has this campaign where she looks for people that look just like her when she's doing her music videos. And when I say that, I mean larger girls, not what we maybe see on the magazine covers. You had to be like Twiggy. Remember Twiggy? But girls that look like her, and guys, dancers, and stuff like that. So she has this love campaign. She's not body shaming, but she's saying, love who you are in the skin that you're in. And that's being very vulnerable, especially with social media. Everything's out there in real time. So you need to get into a community, a family that is going to love you for just who you are, right where you are. We were talking to my granddaughter the other day, Nyla. Hi, Nyla. Hi, Zara, if you're looking and listening. And Nyla is two beautiful little girls. One is all spitfire and confidence. And she says, Papa, I'm so happy. And the other one, beautiful, but a little bit unsure of herself. But she had this conversation with her mom the other day. And the conversation was, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, I love you. You can do nothing to diminish that love. And that is what Spirit is telling us. You can do nothing to diminish the love. You can do nothing. I don't care about your past. I don't care about you kick somebody. Well, don't kick anybody. You might get in trouble for that. But how we move into our alignment with this teaching and being vulnerable is knowing that the power within us is greater than anything that we have done, anything that someone has said about you. It's greater than all of that. There is a power within you that you can use to change your life. And when you tap into it and know who, I always say who and whose you are, there is power in that. There is power in that. And so maybe you don't go through this journey alone. Maybe you get into a community that will uplift you and be with you, arm to arm, hand to hand, heart to heart, when you need it. Even if you don't need it, we're here. We're here to say, you be you, boo, and I got you. I got you. Right where you are. I'm not here to stand in judgment of anyone or anything. I was reminded the other day that sometimes in families, we go through some things. Sometimes in families, something shows up that we weren't expecting, and it knocks us off our course, or it puts a wedge there, something that we can see, something that we can feel, something that we can touch. But my friend reminded me that happens all the times in families, but we're family, we're community. So our job is to love each other, to hold each other, to pray for each other, to hold a high watch for each other. That's what we do. That's who we are. So we open our awareness to the power and presence that is within us. We open our awareness to love, to give love, and to receive love. Right? Can I get an amen? Amen. Can I get an amen? Amen. So all I want to say is that today is a great opportunity to know that there's a power, a presence, living, breathing you. You don't have to think about it. It's breathing you right now. Let's take a deep breath and feel that. We didn't even have to think about breathing. We just got up this morning and came on in and did what we needed to do, and we didn't have to say, okay, right leg walk, left leg walk. Breathe. We didn't have to do any of that. So this thing is bigger. It's grander. And when you know that, you're free to be you. I'm free to be me. There's one power, one presence. So let's affirm together. I'll say it first, and then we can break it up and say it together. Not that one. My heart is open to the whole world. My mind is open to new ideas. I am strong and vulnerable. I am seen and known for who and whose I truly am. I bring my own unique expression to life and create a safe space for others to do the same. What makes me different makes me beautiful. Can we say that together? My heart is open to the whole world. My heart is open to the whole world. My mind is open to new ideas. My mind is open to new ideas. I am strong and vulnerable. I am strong and vulnerable. I am seen and known for who and whose I am. Let's say I truly am. I bring my own unique expression to life. and create a safe place for others to do the same. Now let's make this personal. What makes me different makes me beautiful. Let's say that again. What makes me different makes me beautiful. And so it is. Now we'll have some more beautiful music by the Dream Band. We will celebrate
your beauty, your difference, your vulnerability. Join the joyful celebration. Let the festive time begin. Raise your voice in affirmation. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. Grateful for our friends and brothers. Grateful for the time we share in communion with each other. All the people everywhere. Join the joyful celebration, greeting everyone you meet. Raise your glass in approbation. May the road rise to your feet. May the wind be at your back, and may the sun shine on your face. May the rain fall soft upon you, and your days be filled with grace. Join the joyful celebration. See yourself in everyone. Witness your divine reflection, showing that we all are one. Namaste to friends and sisters, angels walking incarnate. Divine beauty out and in words, perfect and immaculate. Join the joyful celebration. Now's the time to lose all care. Raise your hands in exultation. Plunge them into the air. Dance and sing with free abandon. Open like a butterfly. Feel your heart space keep expanding. Lift your spirits to the sky. Lift your spirit to the sky. To the sky. To the sky. Whoop, whoop.
Am I next? Okay. All right.
That was Al Yankee's own arrangement of that Beethoven song.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you, Dream Band. You guys are rocking. Don't they rock?
We're thinking of changing our name to the Woke Band.
You're the Woke Band? You're
Yeah.
right. Woke Band. All right. So now it's time for our conscious giving. So I invite you to consider that the same portal from which you give is indeed the same portal from which you receive. Let's expand to become bigger and bolder givers so we can expand and become bigger and bolder receivers. Now, you know, in the Bible it says, bring all the tithes into the storehouse so there will be enough food in my house and the rest. And test me now. Yes. Test me now. Because I will open and pour you out a blessing that you will not even have buckets enough to receive it. All right. But it says, if I will open for you the windows of heavens and pour out for you so great a blessing, until there is no more room to receive it. So let's expand and become bigger and bolder givers so we can become bigger and bolder receivers. You can't outgive Spirit. Okay. You can try, but you can't do it.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. And thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for believing. And thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing. And you are a vessel of that love. Thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing, and thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are.
And so I just ask that you stretch your hands forward as we repeat, as I bless this offering. I bless these tithes and gifts and offerings, knowing that they are sufficient to cover the needs of CSL Redlands, which is a successful idea in the mind of God. How good it is to speak this word and know the truth now, and together we affirm it by saying, and so it is. Now it's time for our closing prayer. And so I will invite, I have a microphone. If the practitioners and ministers could just come and stand in front, because we don't have lots of room on the, and Joe, please. And we will pray out. Yes, please. Daryl, can you stand next to Joe? So I'm going to light this candle. There is a Chinese proverb that says, it is better to light a candle than curse the darkness. Meaning, better to do something about a problem than just complain about it. Further, a candle is a small answer to a large problem, but it is still a worthy step in the right direction, rather than bemoaning the problem of darkness. So we turn the light on as we light the candle. So I'll ask our practitioner student Joe if he will open us up with prayer. And after Joe, we'll have Daryl. And I've asked for some specific things today from my practitioner and ministers. I've asked Emeritus Practitioner Mark to pray for our sick and shut in. And I've asked Reverend Caitlin to say a prayer for the mass shooting that took place at the Covenant School in Tennessee. And then I will close the prayer. So just join us in the consciousness of the one power and the one presence that I call God. And you may call it Spirit, whatever resonates with you, as Joe opens us up in prayer.
How grateful I am for this power, the source, the supply that I call God, that you may call it whatever it calls upon you to call it. This time of togetherness, of sharing, and this truth, and this knowing, expressing as each and every one of us can express ourselves in our own unique, individual way, as outward expressions of the Most High Source, the Most High Power, in unification, in knowing how blessed I am in this knowing. I declare this blessing to each and every one of you here in this sanctuary, watching on Facebook or YouTube. And so it is, and I pass my word now to Daryl.
And just continuing in this blessing, knowing that this divine source that moves in us, through us, as us, and is all around us, protecting each and every one of us, each and every moment of the day, each and every second of our existence. We are here. We are full of life and full of love. We are the Christ consciousness, the Spirit that emanates energy and light wherever we go. We are that vessel of love, of giving, of knowing for each and every one their true self, their true power. And we express that through our acts of giving, our acts of compassion, our acts of being connected and together, because there's no greater feeling than being connected and together and knowing just how important that is for each and every one of us, because it is that glue that carries us through all the pain that we may experience, all the suffering that we may experience, all the challenges in our life that we may experience. Is that glue and that love, which is the glue that keeps us going, keeps us moving forward, and keeps us in high regards and spirit, and our energy flows unabated in our lives, in our family lives, and to all those we come in contact with. We know. And I just pass this on to Reverend Kate.
And I'm awed by the richness in consciousness that's already been established today. That poured forth through this open-hearted spirit, beloved Sonja. And that are the words of my beloved fellow practitioners. And I call forth what's moving through me now, because it's calling me to dig really deep as I speak this word. I'm being called as I speak on behalf of the obvious wreckage that's been left in the wake of the atrocity that happened in Tennessee. I'm called now to draw forth that place within us that can find compassion even for the person who did the shooting. That I am calling forth those places within each of us that hurt and that therefore hurt other people from our own unresolved pain. And I'm calling that forth into the light today. And I'm asking us each to dig that deep and to embody the consciousness and the compassion of Christ, who was able to say on the cross, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." Because if we knew greater, we'd be better, we'd be more. So I'm calling forth that place within the divinity of each of us that says, I establish a consciousness that is higher than and greater than any of this wreckage that is showing forth now in the realm of condition and circumstance. I'm calling forth a higher knowing that requires unity in the face of it. A compassion that draws from places maybe we've never been. That's the kind of healing that I'm calling forth in the revealing of who we really are as a people in the oneness of God, in the consciousness of Christ. And so as each of us allows that charge to wash over us now, I ask you to ask yourself as the individual, as the microcosm, who do I need to be to see that that happens on this planet? What do I need to call forth within me as a spiritual quality to establish that I say is possible? If it's to be, it's up to me. And so recognizing that we are all that and even more in God's idea of who we are and our purpose on this planet. So knowing that I am speaking is not a tall order, it's just what we're called to right now, and there's more coming. And I pass my word to beloved Mark.
Let's just breathe in the knowing that there's that place within. This is what I'm going to say that I know about each and every one of us, including me, including you. There's this part of us that has never been nor could ever be hurt, harmed, or endangered in any way. It is the spiritual truth and essence of us. And I'm calling forth for that place to have its full sway even more in, through, and as each and all of us. We are eternal beings and therefore are not subject to any labels of sickness or illness or shut-in. These are just labels that have been made. And so I'm going to call forth divine health and perfect wholeness. I'm going to call forth perfect assimilation, perfect elimination. I'm going to call forth for bravery, for right action, divine right action. It's your birthright. I know that the power and presence and love of God that made you whole, complete, and perfect maintains and sustains for each one of your needs to be met on time, every time. And I rest on this rock of truth and shall not be moved nor swayed from this place. And I can choose to love anyway, and invite you to love anyway, and invite you to love anyway. So breathe in the grace, breathe in the faith, breathe in the hope, the love, the charity, the goodness, the allness and the power of pure spirit to have its full sway in, through, and as every organ, action, function, cell, and fiber of your being. So each person who's called our prayer, support, and our ministry is blessed and a blessing. You can just say for yourself, I am divine, I am whole, I am healthy and complete.
I am healthy and complete.
And what I know and see in my mind's eye is that anything and everything that is heretofore blocked or hindered, deferred, denied, or delayed this divine, perfect expression of health and wholeness and harmony, let it slip away back to the ethers of the nothingness from where it came, just as the raindrops go to the ground, never again to surface and reappear. And instead, leave a space where you don't need to identify it. As long as it's for your highest and best good, just allow it to be. And with a grateful heart, I pass my word.
Thank you. This is the ecclesiastical arm of the center. So just take a deep breath. Just absorb everything that has been spoken in this room thus far. And today we talked about vulnerability and allowing and inviting in. We say a world that works for everyone. And it was demonstrated in here once again this past week. 10 days we hosted, celebrated, joined in with the Hindu temple, and Lakshmi is here today to bear witness of everything that transpired in here. So talking about vulnerability, we're vulnerable, they were vulnerable, but we came together because we believe in what we say when we say a world that works for everyone. We believe in what we say when we say we are inclusive. We believe in what we say when we say, I see the face of God in each and every one of you. Everyone. There's no separation. We are one family, one human family. One beautiful human family. Skin color different, hair color different, height different, size different. But we said today that what makes you different makes you beautiful. You are beautiful. You're a whole, perfect, complete. So daily, look in the mirror and affirm it. I am what Spirit says I am. Beautiful. It's time for a resurrection. Ooh, feel that. Can I have some? It's time for a resurrection. It's time for a resurrection. It's time for you to know who and whose you are. It's time for you to begin to see other people. We were talking about an x-ray the other day. I said, when you take an x-ray, what do we see? It's the same, isn't it? If they took a whole x-ray of my body and a whole x-ray of your body, you know, maybe our pelvic area looks different from male to female, or whatever your gender expression is, but lungs are in the same place, shoulders, elbows, all that. One beautiful, multicultural family. Under one power. So I'm ready to celebrate in song. What are we singing?
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody.
Let's see the light in everybody.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've got to be. We are love, we are one big family.
Hey, slow it down for a minute.
Hey.
Hey guys, slow it down for a minute. Cut. Okay, so let's do the hand movements. Anybody know the hand movements to that? So, we are love, we are one, and let's say one, big family. So when we get to that part, we are love. We are one big family. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Okay. Okay, let's do that.
Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we're gonna be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey.
Let us make a joyful sound.
What's that?
Okay, I'm going to leave and let them do what they do.
4. Let us make a joyful sound. Let us stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Let us stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we're gonna be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Go out there and make it a great week, everybody. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Dream Band.
Lakshmi
The
has
Dream Band.
T-shirts. If
The
you want to get a
dream-
fabulous T-shirt that tells all about our Hindu friends that were here last week.
Lakshmi, you want to come up?
Hey,
And
yeah.
you want to bring a T-shirt. Bring a T-shirt.
On the back of the T-shirt, it has the 2 magic words: "Go green."
Go green.
Here she is.
I just want to say one Sanskrit sloka because that's what she was saying. We are full, we are one, and then everything is one. So we end our prayers every time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudanchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So the Shanti is the peace, peace to all the worlds, peace for all the times. We say 3 times, up, down, here, everywhere. So Purna means full. That's what she was talking about, being full. We are all full, and the God divine is full, and the same fullness is within us too. So that's what I have in the front of the shirt. I have the divine light, which is in our hearts. And then every single faculty that we have in our body is the divinity. The divine is giving all that energy. So this is all the inner energy within us. And here it says, another Sanskrit word, which says that the divine is within us. But we have to conserve it. We have to use it properly. We have to protect it. Our inner energy, we have to protect it, and the outer. So this is the light, and we just have a small image of our Hindu thing, the face. And in the back, this whole world within us and outside is made of 5 elements. So that's you can break it into others, but solid, liquid, gas, and space. So we can't deny them. So earth, water, fire, air, and then space. So these are the 5 elements. We have the same within us and outside also. So this is the outside nature with all the 5 elements. and we have to protect them. This is the outer world we have to protect, outer nature and inner nature. So that's what we have on this one. And here it says, in Sanskrit, it says, dharmo rachati rachatah. Means you protect the nature, nature protects us back. It's the law, the Newton's third law, because whatever you do comes back to you. If you are good in your heart, then things will come to you good only. Eventually. At that time, it doesn't look like. So that's what it says. In English, you protect the nature, nature protects you. You do the right thing, right things come to you. And on the top, we have the go green. And this is the outer one, energy we have to conserve. The whole idea is conservation of energy. So outer thing we have to conserve, inner thing also we have to conserve. Two sides. I can elaborate more on all the other things, but the basic idea is that, and we, could I start?
Yeah, how much are the teachers?
Small is 15, medium is 18, large and extra large is 21. That's the price. And this is a fundraising for our temple, which we are planning near Yukaipa Boulevard in Redlands. So please help us out. If not you, think of somebody who you know, you can pass the message and let them get it. Okay, thank you. Just one more. She said, we are all one family. That's what's told. Thousands of years ago it was said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole universe